Hey guys, how you doing? Kelly Johnston here from Kelly's Truck Talk. I'm talking about stuff that is happening right now in the real estate business. I'm still working. I'm still busy. I got to do it while I'm driving down the road. Bam! How you guys doing? Okay, I actually did this already, and the sound on it was freaking horrible. I don't know what happened. It was some wacky thing happened with the speaker and the sound and all that, so I'm redoing this one. So I don't know if everything's gonna come out of my head the same way it did then, but I had a question come up in the Facebook group that had to do with figuring out how to position yourself as a real estate agent with developers, people who buy development property, and so I thought, man, that's going to be a fantastic truck talk kind of subject matter. And so there's lots of different ways to get involved with developers. So one is you start with a small town person that's maybe a builder or a tradesperson. They've accumulated some money, they buy a property, maybe they buy a property that's subdividable, turn that into a lot. Maybe they built a couple houses and they're starting to build houses now. Maybe they're a licensed builder that's just been kind of building onesie twosies here and there, buying some lots here and there, and now they're starting to, get into the idea of subdividing some properties, and then maybe they're graduating from single family stuff to townhome stuff, and then once they get through that, then they start to graduate to maybe condo type land and bigger purchases and that kind of stuff. So lots of different levels of developers when you use the word developers. Depends on which part of the spectrum you're at with them. You could be a huge asset to the type of people that are just looking for some smaller opportunities, and to kind of turn their money over and keep their money working for them. The biggest important thing that you gotta be for that person is you gotta make them money. You gotta make them a lot of profit, and they're gonna stay loyal to you. What happens with a lot of realtors is they start to see these other people making money, and then they want to get involved in it, and then they start to get themselves into tricky situations. Honestly, just be who you are. Be a real estate agent. That's what you are. You want to do some development stuff and all that kind of thing. Don't start taking business away from your clients that you're supposed to be serving. I don't know, there's lots of different ways to analyze that. Anyway, we can have a discussion about that if you want to, but you can get involved with people and put together some partnerships and that kind of stuff, but it does get sticky. Anyway, back to this. So to be that valuable asset to those people is basically finding the properties. A lot of times these properties aren't always on the market. They're not always out there on the MLS system. So you can't just do it the lazy way and go, oh, here's some listings from the MLS system. You might have to knock on some doors, or you might have to do some studying through your city planning departments and that kind of stuff to kind of identify some areas that have potential for future development, and then start knocking on some doors and creating relationships in those areas, and eventually, starting to piece things together. Maybe you're assembling land, all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of work. Doesn't mean you're just going to all of a sudden, tag the big elephant and start making a pile of money. You got to work your way up to that. You got to earn it. And a lot of times the developer or builder will reward the opportunity. So you find them the lot, you find them the land, then you get the list backs on the product that gets built on that afterwards. That's something you always want to secure. Some areas can enter into contracts with people on that. In our area, we can't really enter into contracts on that kind of stuff. We just have to rely on goodwill. And so anyway, but that's another thing to look at depending on your area, and talk to your manager, broker on that. So there's lots of different opportunities. Now the thing is, once somebody starts moving up into the bigger land parcel stuff, when there's a longer gestation period, there's a lot of speculation. They might even be kind of land banking for a little while, waiting for some services to come through to open up parcels of land, and now that becomes development land. They might just flip it because now the value's tripled, quadrupled, whatever, because now services are in that area and they tied up the land years ago. Or they want to use it for their own development, take it to the finish line, and make better profit. But really, it's a long game. It's a long play, a really long play. And you may get paid on the first sale, but the next sale could take years, could take absolute years. So relying on all that for your business, to feed you the bread and butter stuff is kind of tough, but you can make some big hits once in a while. So it's kind of got to be in addition to everything else you're doing and building your business. There's some people that have made a business out of it, but they've put in the time, they've put in the years, they've put in the relationships, they've knocked on all the doors, they know all the parcels of land, they're studying it every day, they understand their city websites, and they understand the city process, and they understand that, like, they've basically absorbed all of that information into them, and they've made it their business to know that. So if you're willing to go there and put in the time, you can do very, very well, and you can become a great asset for a lot of people. Now, having said all of that, being loyalty with these guys is tough, because a lot of these deals, once you get into that realm, there's only so many players out there. There's only so many bigger players out there, right? And so they start to put feelers out with lots of different people, because they're always looking for land. So they bump into people through all of their searchings and phone calls, and people start throwing stuff across their desk, and now they're spending their days analyzing properties that come across their desk, and they take the best ones. This starts happening. And so what does that do? That minimizes the loyalty, doesn't it? And to have that ideal in your mind that person's going to stay totally loyal to you because you're awesome, it doesn't work. If you don't bring the deals, you don't bring the land. Like, these people are only bringing the deals unless there's future considerations there on the list backs, or getting the commissions, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. So they want those people to be able to bring those opportunities to them. And so they don't want to inhibit those opportunities. So they're leaving it open with lots of different people. A lot of these developers, once they get to that level, are super resourceful, and they start to know about the land, and they may even have staff members banging on doors and stuff for, you know, so it's tough to stay loyal. So I'm just throwing all of these things out there for you to think about. But having said that, spending time in council meetings, listening to applications going through, seeing how they're making decisions, seeing the questions that they ask, forming relationships with development planners and development consultants, and understanding process and timelines and the will of the city for certain areas is super important, and it will serve you down the road. It's definitely good to always be in tune with all that stuff. I really believe that. I do too. I mean, I pick away at development type stuff all the time, but I always know where my bread and butter is. And my bread and butter is the families and the first time buyers and the people getting into the market when they get done their deals, and they give us hugs, and they sing our praises, and they give us 5-star Google reviews, and we have, you know, awesome relationships with them, and they refer their family to me, and their kids and their cousins and their, you know, and that is the bread and butter, and that is the awesome business. It's a feel-good part of our business. It's consistent, it's always coming in. So if I can pepper in some of these bigger deals in and amongst taking care of all these people, that's a great business. So that's my chat on developing a business with developers and stuff. Just things to think about. And if you ever want to talk about it, I'm good to go. I'd love to chat with you about it and give you some insights. And also, always want to let you know, we always have free coaching every single Thursday now. I've been doing this for a few months. I'm going to keep it going every single Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just get on the invite list, and we can do that. So I think I'll put a link in the bottom of this video where you can hit that link, and you just fill in the information, and then you automatically will get on the invite list to join us for free coaching every single Thursday. And we got people all over North America joining us, and it's pretty cool, pretty awesome. Anyway, that's it for today. Go out there and make a great day.